And the other thing I was going to mention too, I hadn't put out many videos late last year. I've got a few in the pipeline. I was doing a lot of editing, but my old laptop, I think I mentioned it before, it was slowing down to the point where it was just becoming a chore. It wasn't enjoyable doing videos. So I have, as of yesterday, so excited, I've just picked up a new Acer, really good specs, super fast. I haven't tested it out yet, but all the specs on there said it should do everything I need to do. So hopefully I'll be able to process these videos a little bit quicker and get the content out more regularly. It was a bit of a dry patch late last year with COVID. We couldn't do trips, and then whatever I was trying to work on from previously, as I said, the computer was just killing me. It was doing my head in. So anyway, computer sorted, super quick. So let's get into these clips, eh? Cheers. Alright, so the rain has stopped, and as you can see there's water on the fridge slide now because it was sitting on the back of the car before I got it in here. So I'll wipe that up, but yeah, basically the fridge slide will sit pretty much, well, it's only got a clear, it's only really the section that slides out that has to clear the door, so I can move it over roughly to where it is there, and then it's just a matter of bolting it down and then putting the timber on. So I might get the drill out and start doing some drilling. I'll drill the channel holes, the bigger one on the top, smaller at the bottom. I'll go get some bolts. We'll get that drilled down through the floor. Then once the rails are in, I can lay my ply in, screw through the ply into the top of the channel, and then we're right to go from there with the fridge slide. Alright, next step. Okay guys, so the rain has stopped now, so I'm going to get back into it. I've had a slight change of design plan. I originally was going to bolt these rails down first, then somehow attach the ply on top and then the slide to the ply. I needed some way to be able to tighten the bolts inside the channel, so unless I use those nut screws or whatever they call them, I thought I'll just drill a bigger hole in the top and then use this 13mm socket, which will fit down, as you can see, it'll fit down through there into the bottom and allow me to tighten up like that. It'll drop down and allow me to tighten the bolts from inside. The only issue then is I was worried that if I try and fix the ply to this with screws or some other bolt setup, the slide may hit them. So what I'm going to do now as a change of plan is sandwich the whole three together. So I'm going to get these set up in place exactly where they need to go. I'm going to cut the sheet of ply to fit and then drill the holes in the ply and then just basically go down through the fridge slide, through the ply, through the channel, and hopefully that'll sandwich it all together and make it a bit more rigid too. So I'm going to get into it. I've just drilled the first hole that side. I'm going to do this middle, that end, and then I'll move over to this side. I'll just make sure that the spacings are all correct, and then I can start bolting down. So let's get into it. I just hope with my level of skill and qualifications that I can line up all three holes to marry up. So I might just drop a bolt down through this first hole just to hold it in place. I've used some, they're 8mm diameter and 100mm long, so they'll be more than sufficient length to go through the 17mm ply. The slide is a couple of mil plus the 50x50 gal channel, so that'll just drop down in place. Down through there. Alright, that hole needs to be bigger. It'll fix that issue up as well. Now I'll go to the middle hole. Yeah, it doesn't help that drill bit's been snapped off at some point. It's not 100% sharp, but it's doing the job. Now I plan to put, I probably won't have to worry too much on the inside here, but underneath I've got some of those big flat, they call them a mud guard or mud flat washer. They're about maybe 50mm diameter. I'll put one of them under each too, and it just helps to spread the load out a little bit more. If I can find a spare packet, I might even put them inside here just to spread it out a bit further. spot on. It's literally to the mill. And look at that, I'm not even a metal worker, right? Surprised myself with this one. Put the smaller width back in, take that out. Now obviously I've checked underneath too that there's no fuel tank, fuel lines, brake hoses, etc. because you don't want to punch through it and hit something crucial. So underneath the tray there's flat section, and then every 100 or 150 mil there's like an I-beam, a vertical brace going across the tray from passenger to driver side, and obviously this ideally is falling in between those vertical ridges. So underneath that's in a flat section, then you've got a ridge either side, flat ridge, etc. So I've worked those out to fit in between the ridges. Just be very careful when you work with that swarf too, because it is very sharp and it sticks in relatively easy into your skin. Alright, so that's that. Now we'll do this other side. That'll drop down through there. Alright, that hole needs to be bigger. Just need to clear that, just make sure it clears that lip at the back, because there is that lip there. And obviously if it's sort of, you're in a bit of a predicament. So if the slide is further at the back, obviously you get a little bit more room at the front, which you could probably store smaller things on, but then the slide won't come out quite as far. If you bring the slide and the mounts and everything forward, it means it'll come out of the box further, but then you've got wasted space behind. So I'm 6'3" or whatever, so I can see into the fridge no problem even once it's on here. I'm thinking I'll mount it as far back as possible. That way I've got a bit of room in front of the fridge for small storage area, and we're not wasting space behind it. So I'll just measure this again. It's sort of hard because I can't clamp these to the floor in any way with the clamps I own, so it's a matter of kind of drawing it where we think and then hopefully marking it and having it stay there. Alright, so that's definitely whack bang in the centre of that flat spot I mentioned on the other side as well. So yeah, that's not an issue. I might have to cut a little bit off the back of that channel. Yeah, what a bugger. So this one here, I mentioned there's this lip across the back of the box. Where the metal's folded, the steel's folded. This one is come up that way a fraction, literally only a couple of mil in it, but it's going to be sitting up on that ridge, whereas this one's sitting in front of it. So what I might do, instead of re-drilling, I will get the grinder and I'll just take a little section off the back of that so it'll sit down flat. That's fine. What a bugger. Anyway. Alrighty, so hopefully now, yeah, it has, so it's cleared the back. So what I did there, I simply notched out, as you can see on the end there, I've just notched a section out, and that will sit now over that lip at the back. So it'll still pull down flat, but at least it's not going to be sitting up on that lip and have the fridge slide, you know, lopsided. So alright, so what's the next plan of attack? Well, I'll sweep all this swarf out and cut the ply to the size, and then we'll drill down through the ply. Hopefully, I haven't worked that one out yet, hopefully I can get the holes in the ply to line up with the holes in this and in this, otherwise it's going to be a bit wonky. So not quite sure how I'll do that yet. I might have to fix maybe just with 2 screws at the corners or something. Haven't got that far. Anyway, see how we go. Can't really drill up from under the tray, otherwise I've got to try and get in under the tray as well, and then I'd need some way of holding the ply down with pressure while I drill up from underneath. So if not, worst case, because I've lost room on the sides here for what I wanted to store there, I might even just have to ditch the ply altogether, but then the height's not going to be high enough maybe for the slide to clear. So I don't know, my head's hurting. We'll So there we go. Right, I'm just going to check what sort of height I've got there. So if you imagine that's your L plate or L foot of the slider, and then you've got the bearing section, the actual slide bit that comes forward and back when you pull your fridge out. I've really got 20mm between the bottom of that and the L foot. So 20mm of clearance plus the 50mm gal channel is obviously 70mm. The lip on the front of the box is 65mm. So I may be able to fix the slide straight onto this, not worry about the ply, because it's kind of pointless if I'm not going to be able to do the notches to fit my things in the side that I wanted to. So thinking out loud, I might put the fridge slide in, just do a dummy test and see, and if it pulls out far enough and clears the lip at the front of the box, then I won't worry. I can still utilise that storage space and not lose too much of it. So let's have a look. Alrighty, so bit of weight in those buggers. So with the, I've just got to remember too that on the back of the Waco you've got the handles for the tie down points, and I think they sit out past the back of the fridge. So you got the wall of the fridge, then the handle. So I don't want to go back too far where the handle's hitting the back wall, but if we go off that roughly as a test, we'll see if that then clears. It does seem to. Yeah, it's pulling across it is pulling across the top of the rubber seal, the door pinch seal. May not be an issue, but I wouldn't want it where you just wouldn't want it where it's pulling that down too much. Doesn't seem too bad. Nah, it's hitting. Yeah, that's no good. So the bottom of what a bugger. I'll take this camera off and show you what I mean. Yeah, unless I pack it up with something. So you can see there I've basically got 20mm between that black foot and the bottom of this. This is the tray that pulls out the fridge. So there's 20mm there, which I thought might have been enough clearance. The only issue is the bottom of the actual bearing slide section, if you can see that, hopefully you can, but the bottom of that slide bearing bit is actually just hitting enough on this lip. You can see the marks there, and that's just from trying it once. Same on this side, this bit here where my fingernail is, that hangs down a couple of mil too short, too low I should say. And I don't really want to just put packers under the tray in the way of washers where the bolts are, because obviously with a bit of weight and everything, I'd rather these feet, I'd rather that be sitting hard on the post, the 50x50, so at least the weight spread right along it. If I've only got 3 bolts in there and a washer to hold it up, it may never be an issue, but I just don't like the idea where you've got a bolt fixed down tight, another one, and then you've got this sort of loose section underneath that's not supported. So what a bugger. I could have used 65x65 gal posts from work and it would have cleared it no problem, but my original idea when I got that and cut it up was to be with the ply. So that's all good. What I'll do, I think I'll just have to bolt them down, then cut the ply to fit perfectly under the slide, and I'll just fix down through it with some, I've got some good Tech screws. I'll just have to go down through the ply, I guess, and through the foot and into the gal post. It should still be secure enough. It's just a bugger when stuff doesn't work out as planned in your head. So we'll keep going and see what happens. Put all these little bits of swarf out. Just drop them on the lawn, because next time your wife comes out and check the mailbox, she loves it. She loves swarf in the feet. Alrighty, I'm going to probably bolt these down. I'll bolt the 2 rails down, then I'll cut the ply to fit the exact top of it. I'll definitely put a big flat washer up underneath the tray though, to help spread that load. Now for the fun bit, I have to try and get a socket on that and something from underneath and tighten them all at the same time on my own, so that might be fun. I'll grab out my socket set. So they're an 8mm bolt. I'm just using a high tensile bolt, whether they are high tensile, but that's what they tell you they are. So high tensile bolts, 8mm. It's a 13mm head and a 13mm nut. So I'll wind that up from underneath and then get the socket down through there and tighten it up. Now these bolts are a little bit too long underneath as well, I've got 75mm there. I might try them because the 100mm is just way too thick. Originally it was planned to go through the ply as well, but obviously that changed. I might see, I'll put a 75mm in because it's just way too much hanging down under the tray, so unless I angle grind it off, which I don't really want to be doing. I will correct that. I don't have 75mm. I had the packet there, 6 of them, and I can't remember what I actually used them for. Well, actually no, they're 20mm, but I've got an empty packet there of 75mm. But anyway, I'll put 100mm in for now, and I'll worry about that later. I can always take them back out and put shorter ones in. I won't over tighten that, otherwise we won't get this end down. I think I'm going to be able to reach those middle ones. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I think I can reach the middle ones. Right, so I've taken a measurement, roughly 820 to 825mm in length, and 520 from outer edge on that side to the outer edge on that side. So I've cut the bit of ply, and then I've just got to determine how to fix it down. So my wife and I often debate whether it's hoarding or keeping it for a purpose. I've got 3 bits of ply in the shed from when I did the trailer slide, or the fridge slide in the trailer, and 2 bits are too small, and one is near on perfect. It's 830 roughly long, which is virtually what will fit in here. 830 that side, and just check this side, 830 perfectly. And then if we go out to the edge with a slight gap, just to allow for if this side panel's not dead straight, I reckon 615 wide will do it. Yeah, 615 all the way down. So I might try making it go right across to the edge with the cutouts that I mentioned earlier, because it might help to stop things rattling around up against this sidewall when we're driving. So I'll cut that out and see how we go.